Welcome, food travelers, to an episode here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this episode, we're headed to a buffet called Kodtalay Buffet $4.99. It is located near Bangkok's Udom Sok BTS station. It has a very affordable price point of $4.99 Thai Baht, which is about 14 US dollars, and it is unlimited selection of fresh seafood with no time limit, and they are open daily from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. and with Saturdays and Sundays from 3 p.m. to 12 p.m. 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. Sorry about that. And with this pricing and packaging, they actually have two different options with the standard buffet priced at $4.99 Thai Baht, which includes the seafood selection and other dishes. And for the additional 49 Thai Baht, which is about $1.40 US dollars, you can have the limited soft drink as well, which does include soda, fruit drinks, and Ovaltine. And there's also a premium buffet option at $7.99 Thai Baht, which is about 23 US dollars, that offers extras like fresh oysters and sashimi, and also like a group of 4 that will receive a complimentary Thai style hot pot.
Yeah, looking at your footage, Micah, the one thing that definitely stood out for me is the fresh seafood. The actual seafood that is alive still, that you can actually go pick out and grab and then eat. You can't get any fresher than that, so I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, this restaurant does offer that open air layout, creating more like a relaxed, family-friendly atmosphere. But you know, in Thailand, it is extremely hot. It's about like 90 degrees. So with that charcoal grill right in front of you on the table, it feels like you're in an oven. It's extremely hot. And like Simon says, and you see here in the video, with that fresh seafood, it doesn't get any more fresh than that.
So to kind of piggyback on the hotness of the weather, Micah, at least I can say is, by the time that you're there eating, at least you've already been probably sweating, and so it's no different than what you probably already have been feeling prior to sitting down and eating the buffet. So yeah, that's tropical weather for you.
Yeah, as hot as Thailand was, I actually did feel like it was slightly cooler than it was in Singapore, because Singapore was a lot more humid. But here in this buffet, I really did enjoy this experience, especially with the live seafood. The live river prawns were by far my favorite items to eat. They were large in size, they were sweet and succulent with that firm, tender texture. And those river prawns also offer you something you can call like head butter that you find in the head, which is like that yellow-orange substance that has slightly bitter taste. Some may call that even like the shrimp flavored melted ice cream or something. What do you think, Simon?
I always thought it was just the brain. but I don't know. I enjoy it. It's something that I enjoy. So for me, it's not a big deal. But I know for others, it could be something that's kind of icky.
Yeah, that's definitely it's a hit or miss. I mean, it's kind of like I guess another one you could call it like durian fruits. It's either you love it or you just can't stand it. So going back to that live seafood, they do have these instructions where it kind of tells you how you go about this process. So you get this bucket, you want to put some ice in it, add a little bit of water, and then you go and fish out your shrimp or your crab. And with that, I kind of just, the whole instructions about getting the ice and the water there is mainly to lower the temperature of the live seafood, making them easier to handle, and I guess kind of reducing the chance of them jumping out of the buckets, since like with the claws of the crab, they are not tied up, so you kind of want to avoid them pinching your skin or even having them just jump out of the bucket, because that did happen a couple of times where the shrimp, I guess I didn't add enough water and the shrimp just jumped out and I had to go run over and grab them.
I wonder how often that happens. It's probably something they see every day with some kind of running shrimp from somebody who didn't do enough.
Yeah, I think that is something they also mentioned. Kind of like let the shrimp cool down first before you even put on the charcoal grill, because they say it can be pretty messy if the shrimp just jumps off from the grill itself. So definitely knock them out first through the ice bucket, and then you have a much more enjoyable time. And as I was sitting here just watching them, I did see them refill these aquariums a few times with more live crab and more shrimp as well.
Instead of moving to the charcoal barbecue pits, how big were they? And the reason I ask is because when we were in our trip to Jeju, we actually went to a charcoal barbecue spot as well there in Jeju Island in South Korea, and they actually had their charcoal pit, and it stretched all the way down to the floor. And I remember I didn't really pay attention, and I bumped my leg into it, and it kind of burned the side of my leg. In this case, was it similar, or does it look kind of more, or was it a little more safe, I should say?
It's definitely way more safe. Like I said, this is more family friendly, and as you see here, there's plenty of space for your foot and your knees to go without bumping into the charcoal grills. Another thing I think this restaurant they did really well was having more like an open sink style, so people can just go up, wash their hands in between handling the seafood and everything, so you don't feel like you need any wet wipes. I don't even think they offer wet wipes, but I mean, just walk up to the sink, wash your hands, and go about your business. But as you see in the video, I'm having quite a bit of trouble recording and grabbing that crab without it running away from me.
Did you, or were you able to tell the difference between the flavors of getting the live crab versus maybe something that was already pre-cut, or something that they kind of broke to pieces? And the reason I say that is because, in the Pacific Northwest where we're from, we are blessed with Dungeness crab, and that's one of my favorite things to eat. But for me, the difference between when you're during crabbing season in the Pacific Northwest, when you're able to get fresh crabs right out of the sound and eat that, versus something you get in the store where it's caught and it's kind of, I don't want to say packaged, but it's been in ice and then they put it out and you kind of go grab the ones you get, or at least they've been sitting in the pool that they have in there, because they're usually alive at times, and you kind of pick out which ones you want. Can you tell the flavor? Because for me, I definitely can tell the difference between getting the fresh ones out of the sound. Their flavor, it's much more sweeter, and there's definitely that saltiness to it that you get from having it come straight out of the waters.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think anything fresh, you can definitely taste that it's fresh. The meat is bouncier, I could say. It's that texture of it. It's definitely sweeter. I mean, anything frozen, you can taste that it's been frozen before. There's no doubt about that. Especially for prawns. I think prawns is probably the easiest one to tell the difference. For crab, maybe a little bit more subtle, because crab, I mean, crab does have their own taste depending on which type you're getting. But for the most part, I think the prawns make the biggest difference.
Were you able to, I guess, cook them down enough to be able to eat the heads? Or was that something where it just wasn't able to do because you couldn't really cook them more correctly, or in at least Japanese or Korean style, deep fry them down and get them nice and crispy to enjoy later?
So with the head, I mean, it does have that head butter as well. So that is something that my aunt was actually telling me. She's like, hey, this is the parts you want to eat, and these are the parts you want to avoid eating. So that was something, as you see in the video, she's like, here, this is the part that you want to eat, and that's what I did. But I did also want to mention, in this buffet, there's quite a bit of seafood. There's other things with mussels and different type of fish that you can get. It's definitely different from any other buffets that I've been to in the US. And we did remember when we were in LA, Simon, we went to another, I guess, Korean style seafood I mean, it's kind of similar to that where they have like the accordions where you can choose the ones you want to eat. But with that one, it was definitely not a buffet. But it was, I guess, pretty similar with the charcoal grilling style as well.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Korean charcoal restaurants that we've been to. Daebudo, that's the name of it, over in Koreatown in Los Angeles. And I saw you kind of messing around with the crab butter. How was that? Because crab butter, that part, I know a lot of in the West they toss that out. There's actually Cambodian dishes that part is actually used for a sauce that goes along with the crab meat, and it's something pretty unique 'cause I don't see it quite anywhere else, but it's absolutely delicious. It's something I grew up with, and for me, it's a flavor of crab that I can't find anywhere else unless it's made at home.
We definitely didn't make it into like a sauce or anything. We just ate straight from the head of the crab itself. I thought it was pretty sweet. It was not bitter at all by any means, but throughout the restaurant, I did see this wild cat roaming around. So you could see that the charcoal grills don't go down low enough to cook the cat either. But I mean, joking aside, nobody eats the cat. It's just something that I noticed in the restaurant.
I remember the shot here looking at the shrimp as it's getting cooked. That reminds me back to, as we mentioned earlier, Daebudo, and we actually had kind of a similar thing where we had the fresh, like you mentioned before, the live seafood, and kind of watching it squirm a bit as you're cooking it, which kind of sounds awful because it's being cooked alive, but at the same time it's food, and I like food, so it's that battle between good and evil, I guess, or good and bad, or whatever you want to say or call it. But thank the shrimp for being delicious.
Yeah, definitely thank the shrimp for being delicious. I mean, they also have, I guess, pork and also with beef as well. That is something that you can eat. I mean, but you're here at the seafood buffet. Why would you eat anything else besides seafood, right? Yeah, for me, I would definitely say this is hands down my favorite like seafood buffet. If you are in Bangkok and you're looking for fresh seafood and no time restrictions, this is definitely the spot to be. And for this notable, it's the live river prawns were by far my favorite items to eat here in the seafood buffet. They were exceptionally fresh and flavorful. They were large in size, succulent with a firm tender texture. Definitely a must try.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.